Hi, I'm Artis Watkins, your Scenic Government Relations Director, and I'm here with the rest of the Government Relations staff to give a recap or an update of what happened in 2016 in the legislature. And I'm here with David Collins, one of the Scenic lobbyists, Suzanne Beasley, our senior lobbyist, Tony Boo, our research specialist, and Flint Benson, also a lobbyist in government relations. So let's kick it off with Tony Boo.
Well, this past legislative session, we reviewed over 206 House bills, 208 in the Senate, and sat in 223 committee meetings that sometimes lasted 8 or more hours for the day.
Clearly, one of the things that's at the top of the list is pay. So we walked out of last session with longevity intact. We walked away with 1.5% across the board pay raise for state employees, a 0.5% one-time bonus, 1% across the board merit-based pay increase, but there was no structure for giving that pay increase. That was kind of left up to department heads and division managers. So some people got that, some people didn't.
One of our first legislative victories for 2016 was on the state health plan, as we found out in January before the session even started that there was a proposal in the Treasurer's office by then Treasurer Janet Cowell to eliminate the 80-20 plan that most Scenic members have, and also to eliminate spousal coverage on the state health plan. We were able to rally the legislators together, and we put a stop to that before the session even began.
So retirees got a 1.6 one-time bonus. So they didn't get a true COLA this past year. If you brought home $25,000, you got about $380 in your one-time bonus, and that was before taxes were taken out. So we'd like to see something better going out of the next session. Full funding of the retirement system for 6 years in a row at 9.15%.
Last year we saw the privatization shift from prison maintenance to DOT. The powers that be within DOT have a philosophical notion that decentralizing DOT and outsourcing all the work will actually save taxpayer money. However, they could not prove this to be true. Last year we were successful in getting an amendment passed in the House proposed budget that would put a moratorium on the current restructuring efforts. This amendment was left out at the end of the budget process. The war is not over, and there's more battles to come against privatization in the upcoming session.
So one of the other things that was a big battle this past year was House Bill 1134, and it would have taken our retirees' ability to have their scenic dues deducted from their checks. And that was a huge problem. But another huge problem in the bill that I think more of our members would have been upset about was it would have established a minimum retirement age. Senate and House differed on exactly what that age would need to be. One side threw 50 years of age around, or 55, and then it was even a higher one on the Senate side, I think. So that's a problem, because if you've got 30 years in and you haven't hit those ages, our members were telling us loud and clear through phone calls and emails, that, they shouldn't be penalized for having gotten their 30 years in but not having attained the same age as the next person in the cubicle over. So we worked really hard with a lot of key friends in the legislature who we've recognized in our legislative videos in the past, and we're able to keep that at bay. Wouldn't be surprised to see, a move afoot for something like that again.
So you guys were going to need you going forward. It took a joint effort to fight back some of these things last session. So stay engaged. Go to your district meetings. Follow the update, and we'll see you next session.